almost forgot to hit record. Oh. Hi, my name's Nikki. I'm the Obsessive Bookseller, and welcome to my channel. I've been talking about it for months, and I have finally read A Little Hatred by Joe Abercrombie, and I'd like to review it today. Prepare yourself for an Abercrombie fangirl moment. I love him so much. I look back at how I talked about the Blade itself when I first read it and laugh. I was not a huge fan of the book. It was like a 3-star basic read. I absolutely love Glokta. He's immediately an all-time favorite character. But I actually had to reread The Blade itself before continuing the series because I couldn't remember more than just a couple of plot points of things that happened. And yeah, as it turns out, it's because there were only a couple of plot points and I did remember the book perfectly. So it's a slow start and it makes a decent case for itself, but it gives no indication at the brilliance that will follow. And he is one of those authors that just gets better and better with time. He definitely had a strong voice in The Blade itself, but he has developed it to the point where it is instantly recognizable, especially in regard with how he describes characters and brings their deficiencies to life. It's amazing. I don't know how he does it, especially with the Northmen, like Black Dow, Black Calder, Shivers, Logan, Dogman, Three Trees. I'm not gonna lie, at the beginning of the series, I could not keep them all straight. I have no idea which one is which. But he has such an individual voice for all of them that I can even tell you their names, and I would be hard-pressed to tell you the main character's name in the series I read last week. That's how bad we are. But I remember these characters vividly, and part of that is the brilliance with which he describes everybody. Every single sentence is an opportunity to do a drop-in detail about the character's profile. Every single iota of text is used to enhance the character. He could be describing the setting and how the rain is coming down on someone's bald head, and perhaps the rain's dripping into their eyes because they don't have any eyebrows. Things like that. Every single thing he does is enhancing the character and constantly reminding us that they are just people trying to make their way in the world the best they can. And it's that very human aspect that makes this series so memorable. It's the same thing I love about Hobbs' Elderling series. And I shiver to say it, but I truly believe these characters are alive somewhere in this world. That's all I'm saying. So unlike other authors who I always worry about doing a next generation series, because I'm like, well, I'm probably going to not like the characters as much as I liked the first batch of characters, but I'll read it anyway. In this case, Abercrombie is such a master of character development that I never worry about enjoying who we're going to be with next. Because he's so good at making every character interesting, his options are endless in this world. He could go on for ages, taking this side character and that, and then making them the star of the show for a while. They're all good. Side note, I would really love a series for Shavinia and Javra. So A Little Hatred, while not my favorite of the series, was maybe top 3. So good. It has been a long time since I felt that giddy excitement at picking up a new book from an author. I'm so grouchy these days that it really has to be something special. He has reinvigorated my passion for reading because I thought I would never have these feelings again. Oh, there's a new book by Abercrombie out. I have to get it and read it the day it comes out. That's where I'm going to be for his next one. So I'm really grateful for him for that newfound joy of reading. I loved all the new characters in here. I love where the story's going. There's a few things wrapping up from the first trilogy where I've been curious on what happened to a few people and now they're coming back full circle. And there's a perfect balance of new and old, lots of action, lots of political drama, lots of sword fights. This is a very strong installment, and all the hype I've been seeing for the next 2 books has me so excited to move on, but I don't want to read them too quickly. And this is one of the few where I'm like, okay, I'll do a chapter a day so I don't get through it fast, because I want to savor every moment. Okay, so this series has actually helped me refine my rating system even a little bit more. Compared to any other books I've ever read, Abercrombie books are a solid 5 stars. Compared to other Abercrombie books, this one is not quite my all-time favorite. Best Served Cold and Sharp Ends still hold that spot. So I save my solid 5 stars for those all-time favorite books within my all-time favorite series. And I decided that my 4.5 stars are going to indicate books that are among a 5-star series but aren't quite my favorites. But I'll still give the author a 5-star credit on Goodreads. So yes, 4.5 out of 5 stars. And I can't wait to continue. Now let's talk about other books you might like if you like Joe Abercrombie, and vice versa. The first I'd like to suggest is The Traitor's Blade by Sebastian de Castell. If you like the character profiles and the cheeky aspects of what they're doing, then you'll probably like this series. The characters have a similar feel, although this one is much more cheeky and, in my opinion, at the very beginning, a lot more overdone. Almost to an off-putting point, but it does get better, and those cool moments in Abercrombie's book that make you just kind of well up like, oh my gosh, this series has those as well. Next is the Gentleman Bastard series, starting with The Lies of Locke Lamora by Scott Lynch. This is probably the most comparable series that I can think of. It has some of the humor is very reminiscent of Glockta. The setting and overall feel are really similar. I think Abercrombie is a little more politically driven and the settings expand a little more in that one, but this is still a very excellent comparable read. Next is the Dagger and Coin series by Daniel Abraham. I've been recommending this one a lot lately. I must be like itching for a reread or something. But if your favorite aspect of Abercrombie is the political side and the monetary with all the banks and conniving back and forth dealings, this would be a really good pick. The character profiles in here are actually quite similar in the sense that they're all diverse. Like you have someone in government, you have one of the peasants, you have a sword fighter, so pretty good balance in this one. Next, one of my all-time favorite series, the Powder Mage series by Brian McClellan, starting with Promise of Blood. This is one of the few that made me laugh just as much as Abercrombie. So I love the dry humor. I love the politics. This one has a little bit more magic, which who's complaining about that? And Abercrombie is amazing at character development. I think Brian McClellan is amazing at character relationships. And finally, The Emperor's Blades by Brian Staveley. If your favorite book from Abercrombie was The Heroes, which takes place in the North, where there are a lot of gruff men and battle scenes and a lot of cool settings, this is an excellent pick as a comparison. Thank you so much for watching my review, and I hope to catch you next time. Bye.